Namaste. Welcome to the Kundalini yoga class. We are going to work our whole body today. And we're going to start by settling in Sukhasana, the easy pose. And just remember that we're here. Close your eyes gently. Feel your buttocks touching the mat. Feel your hands on your knees. Take a breath in. Remember that you're breathing. Feel your belly slowly expanding on the inhale and gently coming down on the exhale. We're going to start by synchronizing our breath with movement. So we're going to grab our knees and start pulling gently backwards on the exhale and pulling ourselves up on the inhale. Close your eyes for full effect. Feel your body floating on the waves of your breath. Don't try to regulate your breath in any way. Just go with the flow here. You can even linger in the lowest point and in the highest point, just to sense that pause in between the inhale and the exhale, where your body doesn't even need to take another breath in yet. This is a fleeting sensation of complete stillness in your body that is very precious. And it's always available to us many, many times a day whenever we need it. I'm going to take a last breath in, straighten my spine here, make sure that my sitting bones are touching the mat. I'm going to put my hands in front of me, palms down, and reach far forward. Do whatever feels comfortable. Don't try to reach too far yet. I'm going to linger here for a moment. I'm going to lift my whole body up, open my arms, support myself with my hands to the back, palms on the ground, fingers facing backwards, and lift my pelvis here, look up at the sky, linger here for a moment as well. Lower my buttocks on the ground, and then we're going to turn this into a dynamic exercise. We're going to reach forward, support ourselves on the back, and lift, and lean forward, and lift. Go at your own pace. If you want to make it more of a workout, go fast. If you just want mindful movement, go slow and linger in the end points of your motion. Do whatever feels good. You probably notice that your breath synchronizes with the movement here as well, which is the beauty of Kundalini yoga with its dynamic exercises. And I'm gonna give it 3 more. And after doing that, I'm going to go back to Sukhasana and stay very still for a second, feeling the warmth spreading over my lower back. Take a breath in, and we're going to keep working the lower back by putting our feet into the butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together. Let your knees fall wide apart. To deepen the stretch, you can even shuffle around and pull your heels more towards your groin. And for starters, we're just going to start flapping our wings by moving our knees gently up and down in a pulsing motion. We're looking to generate some feeling of warmth in your hip joints. And as you're moving, you're probably sliding off of your sitting bones. If so, just pull yourself gently forward to keep those sitting bones in contact with your mat so that you can feel them. Once you feel the warmth in your hip joints, we're gonna start bending our elbows and leaning forward and coming back up. Go at your own pace. Don't try to go too deep into the bend right away. You would see those bends deepening all on their own. Close your eyes for full effect. Notice this very soothing motion of your elbows as they make a circle over your calves. And if you'd like, as you're doing this exercise, you can trace your whole body with your mind's eye. See what's currently engaged. Pay attention to your hips, to your lower back, to your belly, to your mid back, to your shoulders, making this nice, soothing circular motion. To your arms and hands. And I'm gonna give it 5 more. And again, I'm gonna come to the motionless, stationary, upright position here. Stay very still for a second. Just feeling my whole body motionless when it was moving just a moment ago. And I'm gonna let go of my toes. And I'm gonna keep working the lower back by coming to the staff pose. Make sure that I'm comfortable on my mat. And I'm gonna start by leaning forward. And I'm just gonna gently pat myself on my legs, looking for the most comfortable, farthest point. Maybe it's your ankles today, maybe it's your toes. It's not really material because we're just gonna linger here for a moment. Then let go. Support ourselves without our hands to the back, fingers facing backward, and lift into a reverse plank from here. Look up, linger here as well for a second. And after that, we're going to come down and again turn this into a dynamic exercise. Lean forward, lift into the reverse plank, opening your arms wide as you go. If you find the reverse plank challenging in any way, you can modify this by putting the soles of your feet onto the mat and then lifting into the table pose. But you don't have to. If you feel like the reverse plank is something that's working for you today, I'm gonna go back to reverse planks. And I'm gonna do 3 more. I'm gonna lift myself up 1 more time. And then I'm just gonna stay here, return back to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. And generally, if you're starting your Kundalini practice, you want to do every exercise for at least a minute. Or if you're more in the mood for counting reps, try to do at least 10 and then go up to 15 and 20 and however many you want. I'm just gonna lower myself onto my elbows here. Find a good position here. And then I'm gonna lift one of my legs as high up as I can, and I'm gonna keep lifting and lowering. If your neck hurts here, you can just slide down on your back. Just gonna stay up, but just listen to your body. I'm gonna give it 3 more on this side before switching to the other side. Again, making sure that I'm well supported by my elbows. And I'm just gonna keep going. Watch your thigh muscles here. They're the first ones that are gonna tell you that it's enough for today. I'm gonna give it 3 more. And take a restful breath here, maintaining this position, being supported by my elbows. And then I'm gonna lift one of my legs so slightly and start doing large swinging motions from side to side, crossing the midline of my body without lowering that leg on the ground. This is a challenging exercise if you're just starting out. So I'm gonna give it 3 more swings before switching to the other side. Feel free to take as much rest in between the exercises as you can. Switching to the other side. Try to keep your body relatively stationary. And I'm going to give it 3 more. Before resting my leg back on the mat, I'm gonna take a deep breath here. Try to relax. You can treat Kundalini yoga as a sort of a high intensity interval training. So just rest in between the exercises for a little bit. And I'm gonna start sliding from my elbows to come to the supine position. On my back, make sure that my shoulder blades touch the mat and that both of my buttocks are on the mat as well. And after I'm all aligned here, I'm going to start sliding my hands under my buttocks. That way my elbows are gonna get slightly bent, so I'll get more support for what I'm about to do. I'm gonna point my toes, put my feet together, and start simultaneously lifting my head and my feet. Look at them, my beautiful feet. And I'm sure that you're feeling your core engaged here. If you need more time to rest in between the lifts, I'm going to remind you that yoga is not about achievement. It's about sensing what your body can do and enjoying the motion. I'm going to give it 3 more. And I'm going to rest here on the mat. If your hands are getting tired of being under the buttocks, slide them out. Shake the wrists if you need to. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend one of my knees, let's say the right one. I'm going to grab it and start pulling it close to my chest and releasing. Pull and release without letting go of the knee. Just stop making the muscle effort. I'm going to give it 3 more tugs on this side. And then I'm going to switch to the other side, same thing. Grab your knees, start pulling. I'm going to give it 3 more here. Before releasing. And then I'm going to bend both of my legs, grab both of my knees, hold them close to my chest, feeling my sacrum leaving the mat here. And then I'm going to start lifting my head and simultaneously pulling my knees even closer to the chest before releasing, coming down on the mat. And I'm going to keep doing this. Look what's there in between your feet. Your feet turn into a frame for the world. I'm gonna do 3 more. Before releasing, resting my feet on the mat. Gonna take a breath, keep my knees bent. And from here, going to keep my arms parallel to my body, palms down, and lift one leg to the sky, making sure that my sacrum completely leaves the mat. Bring it back, do it on the other side, and just keep going. It's as if you're trying to swing your leg over your head. I'm gonna give it 3 more on each side. And I'm gonna take a rest here. Take a breath. And then I'm gonna start relaxing my legs, straightening them. And I'm gonna roll slowly onto my side. Support myself with my elbow. Make sure that I found a comfortable position, that I'm not rolling anywhere. Then I'm gonna bend my upper leg, grab the toes of that leg, and open into the laughing Buddha pose, and close, and keep opening and closing, opening and closing. In a way, this is a very soothing exercise. Try to do that before you're going to bed, because what that's gonna do, that's gonna rid your legs of any residual tension, especially if you have to stand the whole day or even sit in the chair. Gonna give it 3 more. And then I'm gonna lower my leg here, put my upper arm where it wouldn't interfere with my motion that much. I just prefer to keep it on my upper hip. And then I'm gonna start a big swinging motion with my upper leg, going to the front, coming to the back. And see, it's easy to lose your balance here and fall. So lean slightly forward. And then I'm just gonna watch how my upper leg is feeling right now. I'm gonna watch for the signs of fatigue here. And when I do sense the fatigue, I'm just gonna give it 3 more. And come back down. Take a breath. And generally, for dynamic exercises, what you want to do, you don't want to overstrain your muscles. I'm gonna start rolling to the other side to do the sequence on the other side as well. So you want to feel your muscles, but you don't want to overstrain them. So once you start feeling them doing something for you, just don't go any further. I'm gonna start the laughing Buddhas. Grab my toes and start straightening, bending my leg on the other side. So you don't want to be sore after the workout. You do want, however, to feel the pleasant fatigue and hopefully a rush of new blood. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Gonna let go. Rest for a couple of breaths before starting my huge swinging motion with my upper leg. You would notice that it helps if your body goes back on the front swing and if it goes forward on the back swing, so you don't lose your balance. So you can start leaning gently forward as your leg swings back, leaning gently backward as it swings forward. Three more. And I'm gonna rest. And I'm gonna roll over to my stomach. And what I'm gonna start doing here, I'm gonna start to settle into the cobra, starting with the sphinx on my forearms. From the sphinx, I'm gonna spread my legs slightly wider so that my pubic bone is not uncomfortable on the mat and that my hips are super comfy too. And then I'm gonna lift from the sphinx into cobra. Linger here for a moment, look forward. And then once I feel like I'm settled in and stable here, I'm gonna start the cobra push-ups. Lower my chest to the ground, making sure that my elbows move sideways, not backwards. And lift myself back into cobra. Here you don't want to go fast. You do want to go with the natural flow of your breath. So when you exhale, you come down. When you inhale, you come up. Be gentle on yourself if you have shoulder problems. Don't do it for that long. If you do, I'm gonna give it 3 more. I'm gonna come back to the cobra, linger here for a moment. And down to the sphinx. Dig my toes into the mat. And swing my bum back so that I can come to my hands and knees. Spend as much time as I need to settle here, which would probably mean spreading your knees slightly apart, putting your feet slightly together. I need a lot of support because I'm gonna do the cats and the cows. Close your eyes for full effect and focus your mind's eye on the absolutely delicious motion of your mid back and the super nice feeling of stretch in your lower back. Feel your shoulders opening. Feel your neck stretching as you do the cows. Just focus on the sensations in the trunk of your body. And enjoy that soothing rocking motion. I'm gonna give it 3 more. Before coming back to my hands and knees. And here it actually helps to tap your hands on the mat because we're going to need all support we need from them in a moment. What we're going to start doing, we're going to check our position for stability. Then we're going to lift one of our knees. Extend the leg. You can even come down to your forearms here. On the way back, try to pull your knee close to the chest. Lower your face into the chest and put it down on the mat. Let's do it on the other side. Up to the chest, crouch, and get back on the mat. You can do it super fast to make it a big workout, but you don't have to. I actually prefer to do that slow. Just to feel all the range of motion that my body goes through right now. I'm gonna do 2 more on each side. Before coming back to my hands and knees. And I'm gonna sway my body even further back so that I can come to the rock pose, sitting on my heels. And sitting on my heels, I'm just gonna take a breath in. Do nothing for a moment. Relax. And from here, I'm gonna support myself with my hands and gently roll my feet forward so I can come to the sitting pose. Grab my knees and slide my butt over the mat so that I am on my sacrum right now. And as I am on my sacrum, I'm gonna start doing the most soothing exercise that I know of from the Kundalini yoga tradition. And this is, of course, the rock and roll. Lower, lift. Lower, roll down on the mat and lift. And lower and lift. And just keep rocking like this. You can close your eyes for full effect here. Massaging your whole back. And I'm gonna give it several more. I don't want to stop here. And having done that, I'm gonna come back to the seated position and get myself up into the Malasana and support myself with my hands in front of me in between my legs. And we're gonna start doing the Kundalini frogs. I'm gonna get up without letting my hands leave the mat. Come down and keep doing that. Here, watch your calves, watch your knees, and as you do, just let your body tell you when it is time to stop. I'm gonna give it 3 more. And the last time I'm doing that, I'm just gonna stay in the upper position and gently come up. Spend a moment here doing nothing, letting the blood return to the rest of my body from my hand. And here, I'm going to start preparing, going into the lunge. Now, going into lunges, especially if you're not athletic, is something that requires a lot of prep work. You want to make sure that your feet are super stable. So as you're doing the trial lunges, don't worry about adjusting your pose. Now my back leg does not feel good on the mat, so I'm adjusting its position. And as I do those things, I'm also starting to feel the warmth in my front knee. And once I do, I'm all ready for the dynamic warriors, which is what I'm gonna do by adding my arms up, palms forward to the lunge. See why we spend so much time worrying about stability? As your lunges deepen, the position of your feet on the mat shifts. And that is why you want to be super stable. You're gonna give it 3 more on this side before switching to the other side. Same thing. You absolutely want to be very stable here. So give it a couple of trial lunges. Adjust the position of your feet on the mat if you need to. And as you do, watch for the feeling of warmth in your front knee. Once you start feeling it, you can add arms up, palms forward, and watch your lunges deepen. As you do that, as your lunges deepen, so does the stretch. I hope you're feeling it. 3 more. And I'm going to stop, turn my body to the center, keep my legs wide open, find a good position for my feet, making sure that my toes are pointing slightly to the sides. Open up into the star pose. Take a breath. And then I'm going to start putting my arms together over my head, palms forward, before lowering my body down onto my palms And from here, I'm going to make sure that I'm well supported by both my feet and one of my hands, because I'm going to open up, look at my upper hand, close, do it on the other side. In the small triangles, you don't want to rush here. You want to maintain your stability at all times. And again, watch your shoulders here. When they're telling you that this is enough for today, just give it a couple more on each side. Just to push your muscles ever so slightly beyond the point of the resistance. And then come back down onto your palms and bending your knees slightly. Come back up. Take a breath here. Make sure that your blood returns from your head to the rest of your body before doing anything else. We're going to maintain this very wide open stance. We're going to open our arms wide back to the star pose. And without changing the position of our arms and hands, we're going to start the rotational motions from side to side. Just try to keep your arms as wide open as you can. The head goes into the direction of the rotation. Feel your shoulder blades working here. Feel your buttocks dancing. Once you get into the groove, you can even close your eyes or keep them gently unfocused and just enjoy the circular motion. I'm going to give it a couple more whirls. And after that, I'm going to add bends to my rotation. Please, your objective is most definitely not to touch your toes here. Even though, as you're doing this exercise, you would see that your bends are getting deeper and that you can, in the end, actually start touching the ground. Just don't try to go there right away. See, I'm there. Not on the other side yet, but I'll get there eventually if I want to. And again, don't make it your objective. And I'm gonna stop bending. Keep the rotational motion. Let's start doing it slower. In Kundalini, you never want to stop any kind of rotation abruptly. You do want to give yourself time to slow down. I'm gonna start lowering my arms so that they are just lifelessly hanging. And I'm gonna come to the complete stop here and start putting my feet slightly more together. Still a fairly wide stance. And I'm gonna again check my toes for not pointing forward. You need to be pointing slightly sideways. Take a breath here. And sit down, bend my knees, keeping my back as straight as possible. I'm going to give it several trial sit downs before turning this into the dynamic goddess pose. With my arms up, bent at the elbows, palms facing forward. And I'm just going to keep doing that. The only thing I need to worry about here is how straight my back is. You don't need to sit down low. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just keep your spine straight. And yes, it's going to deepen as you go. But again, this is not the objective. 3 more. And I'm going to take a breath in. Fully relax. And even close my eyes for a second. And start putting my feet shoulder width apart. Make sure that I'm stable here. And once I am, I'm going to get onto my tippy toes and lower. Get up and lower. For now, I'm just trying to get into the groove of this motion. And once I feel like I am in the groove, I'm going to start getting up and holding before coming down. I'm going to hold, come down. Once I feel comfortable with holding, I'm going to interlace my fingers in front of me, palms facing toward my body, and add an arm lift as I'm holding the upright position. Don't worry if you start falling over. It's as much about the stretch as it is about the balance. Don't try to hold for very long. What matters is the upward motion and the point of stability in the upper end of the pose. Stretch up, hold, and release. I'm going to give it 3 more. This is actually a very versatile exercise, so you can keep going for however long you need to. And I'm going to let my arms drop. Recheck the stability of my feet on the mat. I'm going to lift my arms up again, put my palms together, and then lift my gaze, look at my hands, and lower, let it drop. And then I'm going to start the dynamic version of this. Just lifting my gaze, letting my head drop to give my back, neck a nice workout. To deepen it, you can treat this as the part of the sun salutation. To try to engage your whole back in this upward motion of your neck, or you can just do this nodding if you'd like. 3 more, just to give our arms a rest. And then let them go. Take a breath, shake your wrists, add your forearms, shrug your shoulders. Wiggle and jiggle all of your body. You can even stomp your feet if you'd like. You don't have to. Take a breath. And we're going to come down on the mat. Assume Sukhasana. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. In order to slow down, you can even breathe out through your pursed lips to artificially extend your exhale. Bearing in mind that the longer your exhale, the calmer your nervous system thinks you are. And what we're going to do today, we're going to do a very short body scan. Pay attention to our toes and our whole feet. Whatever you notice there, just notice. There is nothing to do about any of the sensations that you're currently experiencing. Keep breathing. And all of those sensations that you do notice, try to send them with your mind's eye to the center of your chest. It does not really matter if those sensations are painful or pleasant. Move your mind's eye over your calves and knees and hips. Over your buttocks. And whatever you notice there, just send those sensations to the center of your chest. Pay attention to your belly and your lower back. Your ribs and shoulders and upper back. Whatever you discover there, send it to the center of your chest. Pay attention to your upper arms and elbows and lower arms and your wrists and your hands and your fingers. And whatever you discover there, send it to the center of your chest. Pay attention to your neck and to the back of your head and to your face and to the crown of your head and to the center of your head. Maybe there are some thoughts there right now. Just every sensation that you do notice, send it to the center of your chest. And now focus to the center of your chest. Because we're sending so much attention there, you would feel it as something. Can be a warm sensation, can be a cold sensation, can be pleasant, can be unpleasant. Does not really matter. We're just trying to notice everything that our body tells us, rejecting nothing. And now we're going to take that ball of sensations in the center of your chest, and we are going to exhale it through our mouth open like this. You can even do it again if it hasn't left us. Keep breathing like this, feeling the sensations leave your body with your breath. Relax. And listen to the sense of emptiness in your body as your former sensations are leaving you, making way for the new ones. Treat yourself as a blank slate. Clench your toes and hold. Lift your knees slightly to engage your whole legs. Clench your fingers. Lift your shoulders slightly to engage your whole arms. Make your core hard as stone. You can add your face and your neck. Hold it. Keep holding. And now release. Release everything that you have there in your body. Let it go. And now let's take a deep breath in, feeling ready for the new sensations and new impressions, new things to rush into our field of perception. We're going to remind ourselves that we are none of those. We are the one who perceives them. And I would like you to try and rest. I would like you to try and abide in this sensation of not being anything that you can perceive, but instead being the perceiver of all things. As you join me in the Shavasana, take some rest, keep listening to your body, keep paying attention, and be the perceiver of all things. Thank you for doing this practice with me. Namaste.